Friends, it's been a while since our last great mountain hike together. And it just so happened that the filming of this episode coincides with the last mountain hike of the season here in the Chechen Republic. What's even better is that this hike will take place in the most beautiful spot in the Chechen Republic. It's already mid-autumn in Grozny. Today is October 16th, and as you can see, it's gloomy outside. You could say people are in a grey mood. And that's another reason to head to the mountains. But in Galankosh, the weather is nothing like it is in the city. You drive here all gloomy and grey, but when you arrive, you find yourself in this magical world. Today we're going to hike up Mount Nashkoilam. I've already filmed an episode here, but that was in the summer. Now it's time to shoot the autumn version. When we get to the very top of Mount Nashkoilam, the view up there will be absolutely stunning. This whole gorge will fill up with clouds while we're climbing, and it's going to be amazing. That's why I love autumn hikes, because you never know what awaits you on the trail. In summer things are more or less predictable, but in autumn, oh. Right at the very beginning of the trail, there's an ascent right at the very start. When we come here with tourists, they all get exhausted right at the very beginning. But after that, it won't be hard. Actually, this is one of the easiest trails I've ever done. But it's the most beautiful one, and honestly, this is my favorite place in Chechnya. If you haven't been here, you definitely should. We're about to go through the Stone Army. It's just an amazing natural phenomenon that leaves no one who passes through it unmoved. There's a local legend about this place. It says that once on Mount Nashkoilam there lived a beautiful woman whom a general wanted to marry. But she was against it, just like in all those sad romantic stories, so he decided to send his army to kidnap her. But she had some magical powers and cast a spell on the army, turning them into these stones. And there's a little follow-up to this story that I heard recently. I think people keep adding something new to this story every time. The continuation of this story says that this girl is still alive and lives among us, but she has forgotten who she really is. And when she returns here, if she touches one of the stones, they will all come to life at that very moment, and this army will appear before us. It's quite an interesting story, a little bit funny, naive, and kind. Every time we bring a group of tourists here, we tell everyone this story, and all the girls try to touch each stone like this. That's the story. We leave the Stone Army behind. We've passed through it completely. Now we have to go around. Right now we're actually on Mount Shvelam. It just has different peaks. Right now with the group we're planning to go around this peak. From there you get a view of the entire Caucasus range. And then come back and climb up here to the very top, the highest point. The elevation there is 2,350. Friends, let's pause from the mountain views for just 36 seconds so I can share a helpful recommendation. We often find ourselves in situations where we need a car to go somewhere but we don't have one. That's why we can use car rental services. I want to recommend a company from Grozny called Finprokat. They have the largest selection of cars in the Republic, from budget to premium class. Prices start from 4,000 rubles. I have personally rented cars from them several times. I've already rented several times. A cool Ford Mustang, a blue Mustang convertible, and tomorrow I need to go to a wedding. I came to rent a Mercedes S-Class from them. If you need a car right now or maybe sometime in the future, save their contacts, everything will be in the description, and get in touch with them to rent a car that suits you. They also offer a service to deliver the car to your hotel or the airport. There are a lot of caves, both big and small, along our route here. In general, Glanchozy is a place where there are many caves in the rocks. They used to be used as shelters. This is one of those caves. Now I'll try to climb into it. It's pretty small, but it's enough to shelter from some danger or bad weather. It's quite comfortable here. You can sit like this. If it rains, for example, you can wait it out. You just sit like this and wait with such a beautiful view. That gorge on the left is already slowly starting to fill with clouds. And on the right, as you can see, not yet, but by the time we get to the very top, everything here will be covered in clouds. It will look absolutely magical. Let's wait here for the rest of the group. They're way behind. I know, friends, you'll be watching this video now and you'll feel a bit upset that you missed this whole season and never got to go hiking with us. There's good news. The season isn't completely over. It's only finished for Chechnya. In November, on November 18th, we'll have a hike along the Lycian Way in Turkey. This will be the coolest trip of your life if you decide to join. So if you're interested, check the description. The contact information will be there. Get in touch. They'll tell you everything and show you around. From November 18th to 25th, there's a hike along the Lycian Way in Turkey. It's among the top 3 hiking routes in Europe. Now we have the most difficult part of today's hike ahead of us. We need to climb to the very peak of Mount Nashpalam. There it is in the fog. The summit is a bit hidden. We're about to have an elevation change of around 150 meters. When you look at it from below, it seems like an unclimbable mountain. That it's not so easy. And every time I find out we have to climb up there, I get scared. But actually, it's not that difficult. Look, I'll show you now how steep the climb is here, because it's hard to convey in other shots. See how steep the slope is here? That's why this is considered the most difficult section. It gets even harder further on. There will be loose gravel there. If you don't have trekking shoes, it'll be very hard to climb it. Here's another steep slope, and I want to show you how to climb it properly. When you see such a steep angle in front of you, there's no point in going straight up. That's not an efficient use of your energy. You need to climb in a zigzag, like the letter Z, at a steady pace. And then, you'll reach the top in the shortest amount of time with the least effort. Here it is, finally, this loose slope. Now we're going to climb it. Friends, we've finally reached the highest point, Mount Coilum. And we're at the summit. Look at the view from here. Clouds. See, everything is covered with clouds. Somewhere down there is Grozny, and everyone who stayed home on October 16 is looking out their window. It's grey. Gloominess. And everything that comes with it. But here it's sunny. We're on Mount Coilum. Some girls from the group are even sitting over there, crying, from the beauty they've seen. They didn't expect Chechnya to be this beautiful. Subtitles by Dimatozo. Now we're going to have sandwiches with tea, with a view like this. The water will boil soon. Tea, by the way, friends, some tea. This is herbal tea. The herbs were gathered on this mountain. We collect a little bit during each hike. This tea is made by Apti. My friend, many of you have probably seen him in many of the episodes. Now I will... Here we have thyme, St. John's wort, Ivan tea, and lemon balm. And this black one, that's fermented Ivan tea. Apti ferments it. The tea is called Apti. Now we'll brew it. Okay, the kettle has boiled. We put our tea in there. It boiled and sat for a bit. It's not boiling hot water. It's better not to brew these kinds of herbs in boiling water. Let's wait a few minutes and then enjoy. Friends, I don't know how it looks on your screen, but when you see something like this in real life, you just can't relax for a second or take your eyes off this landscape. It feels like if you look away now, you'll miss something valuable. Cheers.